Hello, and welcome to MAGA, the podcast. Now, this is not your racist uncle's MAGA. Our MAGA stands for I'm an Angry Asshole, the cult of Donald Trump. And I am your host, the Disgusted American. Now, the mission of our show is to explore how Don the Con bamboozled a nation. Our goal is to help make sure that the cult of MAGA goes down in flames by 2028. We want to stop MAGA before it becomes unstoppable and our democracy further decays into a dictatorship. Now, if we want the cult of MAGA to end, we really have to know how it began and why it spread. We have to go back to Trump 1.0, the election of 2016. We've run through some of the basics. We talked about how Trump ran as a big bad wolf candidate. We've discussed how Steve Bannon and Roger Stone helped him avoid starvation as the big bad wolf and develop his snake oil messaging. During our series on disinformation, we explored how to develop and distribute effective snake oil messages. So let's put all this together now. Let's dive into how Trump applied these lessons to his Trump 1.0 campaign so he could start to recruit members into the cult of MAGA. In this episode, we're going to start to explore the question, how did Trump 1.0 go from the fringe to the mainstream? And we're going to do this by exploring Trump's first big lie, build the wall. So during his candidacy announcement speech on June 16th, 2015, Trump presented the building blocks of his first persuasive message, build the wall. So let's explore some pieces of that speech using the persuasive triangle, ethos, pathos, and logos.
When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense.
So here we have an example of pathos. Trump is framing immigrants as people who bring problems and violent crime. They're not the right people.
Well, it's coming from more than Mexico. It's coming from all over South and Latin America, and it's coming probably from the Middle East. But we don't know, because we have no protection and we have no competence. We don't know what's happening. And it's got to stop. And it's got to stop fast.
So here's another example of pathos, or the use of emotion. We have to stop immigration now and stop it fast. Immigration is an imminent and dangerous threat. So this is meant to inspire fear and urgency. He's also using ethos, this idea that under the current leaders of the nation, there's no protection and no competency when it comes to handling immigration.
So I've watched the politicians. I've dealt with them all my life. If you can't make a good deal with a politician, then there's something wrong with you. You're certainly not very good. And that's what we have representing us. They will never make America great again. They don't even have a chance. They're controlled fully. They're controlled fully by the lobbyists, by the donors, and by the special interests, fully. They control them. Hey, I have lobbyists, I have to tell you. I have lobbyists that can produce anything for me. They're great. But you know what? It won't happen. It won't happen. Because we have to stop.
Here we have another example of ethos. Politicians are corrupt. They're in the back pocket of lobbyists, donors, and special interest. So again, they don't have credibility. They don't have authority.
Because I don't need anybody's money. It's nice. I don't need anybody's money. I'm using my own money. I'm not using the lobbyists. I'm not using donors. I don't care. I'm really rich.
Now we have another example of ethos in favor of Trump. He's saying, I am incorruptible. He's using his own money. He's independently rich.
They were smarter than our leaders. There is so much wealth out there that can make our country so rich again and therefore make it great again. Because we need money. We're dying. We're dying. We need money. We have to do it. And we need the right people.
He's building credibility for himself. He's presenting himself as the leader that the country needs, the leader who wrote the art of the deal. This is the heartbeat of his entire premise of being president of the United States. He promised to run the country as he runs his businesses. And that should have been a massive red flag because he's bankrupted 6 of his businesses. And he's had over 4,000 lawsuits or been involved in over 4,000 lawsuits because he doesn't pay his bills. So running the country like his businesses would basically infer that the country's going to fail at a staggering rate and we're not going to pay our bills. Fast forward to 2025, and that's exactly what's happening. And our reputation as a country is starting to match his reputation as a shitty businessman.
I said, I think that, number one, I am a nice person. I give a lot of money away to charities and other things. I think I'm actually a very nice person. But I said, this is going to be an election that's based on competence. Because people are tired of these nice people, and they're tired of being ripped off by everybody in the world.
So here we see Trump leaning into this idea again of ethos, of building his own credibility, right? He's a philanthropist, and he has this tremendous business acumen because he's rich. These are tough times, and we need a tough negotiator.
We have losers. We have losers. We have people that don't have it. We have people that are morally corrupt. We have people that are selling this country down the drain.
Here's another example of negative ethos. He's trying to destroy the credibility of the politicians running against him. They're losers. They're morally corrupt. They're going to sell the country down the drain. And this is a favorite Trump tactic. He labels other people with his own behaviors. He accuses other people of doing what he does or being who he is.
I would build a great wall, and nobody builds walls better than me, believe me. And I'll build them very inexpensively. I will build a great, great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall.
Here we have an example of pathos. We're going to build the wall and make Mexico pay for it. They're sending the bad people over. Let's make them pay for the wall to keep those bad people out. Again, another favorite Trump tactic, this idea of retribution, revenge. It's the basis for almost everything that he does. Grievances and vendettas are his happy place.
I will immediately terminate President Obama's illegal executive order on immigration. Immediately.
In this case, he's using ethos to build up his own credibility and that he's the only one that has the courage and the will to stop the corruption, to stop the scourge of immigration.
Sadly, the American dream is dead. But if I get elected president, I will bring it back bigger and better and stronger than ever before, and we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And finally, we have pathos and ethos, a combo this time, right? The American dream is dead, and only he can bring it back. So he's using emotion, and he's selling his credibility, in this case, as a successful businessman, and also showcasing his Messiah complex, right? He's the only savior. He's the only person that can get the job done. In this speech, we can see the building blocks of Trump's political persona through his first big lie of building the wall. His message is heavy on pathos, and you can hear the emotional responses he got from people in the crowd. He obviously hit a nerve. is heavy on the ethos of money equaling competency, making deals, being tough, being rich, being incorruptible. But there's not much here on logos. The numbers he shares are pretty much fake. And the stories are all bullshit. The story he had about talking to border guards, really, when would that have happened? When would a New York billionaire strike up a conversation with border guards? What were their names, right? There weren't any border guards. He didn't meet anybody. He's a master bullshitter, and he likes to pretend. In 1991, he pretended to be a publicist named John Miller. And John Miller conducted an interview with People magazine singing Trump's praises. He also pretended for over a decade to be a spokesman named John Barron, who fed reporters juicy quotes over the course of more than 10 years. Who was John Barron? Donald Trump. He makes shit up. So when his lies flow so easily, surely this would trip him up. There's no way anybody could take this guy seriously, right? Wrong. During this episode, we really took a look and started to unpack Trump's first big lie, build the wall. We talked about what he promised. The reality is building the wall was always a batshit crazy idea. It shouldn't have worked, but it did. In our next episode, we're going to explore, why did this start to work? Why did build the wall really start to gain traction and establish Trump as a viable presidential candidate? So that's all we have for this week. Appreciate everyone tuning in. If you want to help out the channel, please subscribe or follow us on your favorite podcasting platform, and tell your fellow disgusted Americans where they can find us so they can give us a listen. If you have a few moments, please leave us a rating on your platform so more folks can find this show. As always, new episodes drop on Wednesday. Appreciate you tuning in. Look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great night, folks.